Is it a rogue or a rouge? How do you pronounce his name?
Ooh.
I think it's a rouge or a rogue.
I mean, technically, the character's name was Urose, but yeah.
Yeah, it's actually one of my favorite supernovas. I feel like people sleep on him way too much. Him and Drake. People sleep on him and Drake way too much.
He says Uro. No, I mean Rouge.
Rouge.
And
Okay,
then
yeah, that makes sense.
Moulin Rouge or Rouge the Bat. I don't know who is Rouge the Bat.
Oh, she's a character from Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't watched Sonic since.
As for Moulin Rouge, I've seen it.
Batman
Didn't really
from
care for it.
OP's. Oh, I feel. What?
She's a bat. That's her. That's what kind of animal she is. She's a bat.
Oh, yikes. Yeah, Batman is one of the top 10 characters, though, so I guess that's alright.
Top 10 characters in one.
In One Piece.
Oh, you mean? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yo, Rouge, can you check my channel to see if the audio's alright? Thank you, I appreciate it. He said he can't talk, but he's in the chat.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Why is both my videos live?
Oh, my cat. What is wrong, kitty cat? You're alright. Someone's being really clingy right now. Okay.
I have 2 streams live right now, which is weird.
It's a good thing I'm not using video because you'd see a cat crawling all over me right now.
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
I honestly think it's the noise of my phone that's kind of scaring her. But nothing I can do about that. Don't have a headset, kitty cat. Sorry.
I gotta disable one of my streams. I have 2 streams going on right now. That's weird.
Nobody's in the house. We're okay.
Oh my god, what the hell?
Oh, man.
Why is this live? This makes no sense.
It's texting me.
Yo, Rose, this is the wrong stream. I have 2 streams going on for some reason.
Yep.
I don't understand why.
That's because
I don't understand why.
that's because you're running one while Dragon's running one.
Oh man.
You're handling the recruiting, and he's handling the he's handling the main HQ.
Let's see if the other one is good. This is strange. Let's see.
What's wrong, girl?
Alright.
What?
Well, as long as the audio is
people's
right
voices
in one
together?
stream, then it should be right in the other one. I hope. Yeah, of course I got the will of D. Alright. Cool. Now I got one stream going on, so. Alright. Well, welcome, Kat, and welcome, Rose. I don't even know if there's anyone in the chat, but whatever. Doesn't matter. Anyway, we're going to talk about One Piece 974. And I have, since Rose can't talk, I have his chat up, so anyone watching can just see what he's saying. If he's insulting the chat, if anyone's in there, you can see that too. And unfortunately, Z can't be with us today since he hasn't read the chapter, and he's still sick too. Yeah, but you want to go first, Cap? Your thoughts on the chapter?
Um. Well. What to say? I would say it's definitely an improvement over the last. Actually, for me, probably the last 2 or 3 chapters. Not to say they were bad. It's just this chapter to me was more intriguing in what it's set up. Because honestly, to me, it pretty much was just a setup chapter. Not to say that's a bad thing. But um, yeah, it was solid. There's not really much else I can say without going into spoilers
Yeah, I mean,
regarding
you
it.
can go into spoilers since it's a discussion of the chapter. So, what are your
Um,
thoughts? Anything panel by panel?
I I feel like the reveals could have used more setup and
Mm.
more foreshadowing because while it was, let's be honest, pretty obvious that Kiyoshiro was a double agent and not really, you
You mean
know, on
Conjurer?
title. Yeah, it was pretty clear that he was going to either switch sides or was secretly helping out. Um, what I would call the Wano Revolution, because that's pretty much what they are. They're seeking to overthrow the shogun. So, um, but him being who he is, I don't know if I should say it.
Yeah, yeah,
That
it's a discussion. You can say it.
him being Denjiro to me kind of felt like it came out of left field
Yeah.
because
Well, wait, did you read today the chapter that came out today?
oh yeah,
Oh, okay, okay. That's what we're talking about.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
but because it does build into that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I still I'll not say anything else about that. Conjuro though, or Conjuro, or however you pronounce his name. Um, I definitely feel as though. I mean, I think most of us expected that to be the case. I think most of us kind of had a feeling that he was going to end up being the traitor, but at the same time, I feel like for me his reasoning wasn't believable. Maybe I'm misremembering things. So, um, if that is the case, then I apologize for that. But I just
You said that
I
you don't
wouldn't say
think
that
you say you don't think it was believable.
it was believable, but I just didn't think that he. How should I say this? It was believable. Actually, no. I guess it wasn't believable. Not to me, because I don't really understand what his motivations for doing it were. I mean, or I don't remember what his motivations were because as I was reading the chapter, it maybe it's just me, but it kind of felt poorly paced. Kind of felt like there were things that maybe should have been there to better expand, on his, um, on the, I don't even know if you'd call it a twist, but I feel like there were things that could have helped to expand on his reasoning and whatnot, which we probably should have gotten some of that in the flashback. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know why you couldn't have just revealed that in the flashback, the Odin flashback.
I mean, some of
Mhm.
his reasoning is that he was just like Orochi. He was a Kozuki, and like you say, his parents got married on stage.
That's
He was
right. They're from the
persecuted.
same family, aren't they?
Yeah,
They're from the same family, aren't they?
yeah, or like a branch of it, something like that. Cause like I don't know,
Yeah,
cause later on in the chapter, Orochi's like, oh, like you're, I'm gonna make you like a true Kozuki.
yeah.
I mean, when I did my last reaction, I kind of laughed at that whole when he said that he's a traitor.
Yeah.
It was just a weird like.
Oh, you mean like flat out telling the scabbers I'm a traitor?
Yeah. I mean, later on
Yeah.
he says like, "Oh, Orochi said I should like reveal myself in that," but it was just like, really?
But here's
Like,
the thing, dude.
and then
Why?
I was
I
like
mean,
laughing at Kinemon too because it's like, oh, I know this is a traitor, but I'm just gonna ignore it and let's go on. Like, what do you mean?
yeah.
Like Kiku was
I mean,
right.
he's a
Like,
traitor.
yeah, like Kiku was right. Like, what are you talking about? Like, tell us to find the traitor and let's find this damn traitor and stuff. Like this is the whole. First of all, this is like the reason why they're in this mess anyway, because they ignored it for all that time, and then now they're on this little boat in this raging like sea, and then they're like, oh no, forget about the traitor. Let's just move on. Like, no.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I mean when I said it kind of felt rushed. It's like, all right, you know he's a traitor. You tried to kill him and it didn't work. I'm guessing because so it seems like he can create ink clones or something.
Yeah, it's just his drawings basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But he's actually a good artist, but that he's
So,
been drawn badly
yeah.
on purpose.
So as soon as Kinemon tries to kill him, because clearly that's what he was going for.
Yeah.
He doesn't, attempt again, or he doesn't. I don't know. Yeah, that to me didn't really make much sense. I mean, I guess an argument could be made for, well, Luffy, Law, and Kid are there, so it's like Kinemon doesn't really have to worry about him running away or something.
Yeah. I mean,
they pretty much.
We always knew that like Luffy and his crew were gonna pop up. Roach thinks that it's the ink fruit because I guess his fruit hasn't been named yet.
Oh man, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Ah, man. I keep forgetting that because it's I know this is technically going off topic, and I'm just going to say this one thing.
Yeah, that's fine.
It reminds me of how for the longest time we pretty much knew that Doflamingo had the string fruit, but it wasn't named.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty.
Yeah, because even the Rosa, like, it can be the art fruit because I think Jola from Dressrosa on Dolphin's crew had it. That's what he's saying. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could call it like maybe you could call it Kali for like calligraphy.
Yeah, but is it calligraphy? I mean, isn't calligraphy just like the writing?
Well, his big brush to me kind of feels like it's inspired by the brushes that mangaka typically use for their drawings.
Yeah.
Now I don't know. I mean, I know that they have used calligraphy brushes. Yes. So maybe that could be its name. I mean, Oda doesn't always just go with the obvious. Like, for example, Kizaru's fruit's not called the light fruit. It's called the glint.
Yeah, but that's mostly from how do you call it? Like, he does that for a reason, just because of how the devil fruits are named. Because just like Kijizone's called the Chocho fruit. I forgot.
Right.
There's a reason he names them like that, but it's basically like the ice fruit and the light fruit. But he names it like that for a reason.
Right. Which I mean, it's definitely Kali, the Kali. I mean, I know it sounds silly, but then let's not forget the name of Wall's fruit is literally Opnomi.
Yeah.
I mean, which is fine, but it's like it's not. I guess Operation is a little bit too.
Yeah, like all the devil fruit names are just named like that, just for.
Yeah.
For it to a specific way he names them.
I mean, in my opinion, I think it should have been called the room fruit. But that's getting off topic.
Yeah, and then it's more than that, so.
Yeah. So. Right. So getting back to it. So getting back to that chapter, is it just me, or in this chapter did it seem as though Kaido's legs were bigger than usual?
I
Like
don't
more
know.
proportional?
Kaido's size is different every chapter. You remember the chapter
Yeah,
where Big Mom was putting up the waterfall?
yeah.
Kaido was like the same size as one of his men. I'm like, what? They were literally like looking
I
at
mean,
each other. Like they were like face to face. And I'm like, no, like that is
yeah.
not how. I'm like, no.
I mean,
What is going on
I
with
mean,
Kaido?
Oda. I mean, it is possible that Kaido could. That Kaido, yes, Kaido is Oda. No, it is possible that Oda could be doing that intentionally to try and. I mean, I'm not saying that is the case, but if
Yeah.
Kaido was to come out and say, "Oh, I can change my size as well as turn into a dragon,"
I mean,
like
yeah,
it
then
maybe.
that's fine.
I
Then I
mean,
guess. But like,
because we know that.
if it's not
Go ahead.
that, if that's not the case, that would be wild. Like that just means that it's
And,
just like inconsistency.
right, but if Oda actually, that would be pretty brilliant if he took that inconsistency and actually said, you know what? No, it's a clan technique.
Yeah.
Like how other clans can have abilities, like the Minks have their Electro and all that.
Yeah.
Um, but I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's supposed to
Maybe I'm
be.
being.
I'm talking
What is
to
it?
Rose. No, he said he could post some memes about Kaido. But like, I have noticed though that in the present time Kaido's legs are like thick,
Yeah,
but like in the past they're all like thin. I don't know.
yeah, I know, and they're longer too because they were like short stubs in
Yeah.
the past. So it's almost like Oda's reading my mind now and saying, "Oh, he doesn't like the disproportionate limbs on Kaido. I better change them." Um, but like, plot twist
Disproportionate
on Oda
leg.
by plot twist on
He should
Oda.
look at Pika.
Yeah, plot twist on Moto, by the way. Just kidding. But right, I should get my thoughts out of the way because I've been rambling way too much. So, um, okay, so maybe I was seeing things incorrectly, but it almost seemed as though Kid was doing something with his fruit to one of the ships at the end of the chapter.
Really?
It almost looked like at some point he was maybe disassembling it or reforming the metal that the ship was made with, because there was it looked as though there was some kind of explosion that happened to one of the ships. I couldn't really tell what was going on
It's possible.
there. But yeah, there's really not much else I can say because I feel like this chapter didn't. Not to say that there's anything wrong with the chapter not having a lot to it, but I feel as though there just for me wasn't enough to talk about on a surface level. So I'll wait until you give your thoughts and whatnot, and then I guess we can continue the discussion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, overall, I thought it was like a 6 or a 7. It was way better than the past chapters,
Yeah.
especially after like the whole. I don't know. Well, I was gonna talk about like the Toki death, but like I want to do a separate stream on that.
I don't even remember that.
That's how bad it was. It was like,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
no,
so
yeah.
forgettable.
So I remember I was watching someone stream, and then they felt like, oh, she could have jumped into the future because it's like they don't really show her getting shot. Because like even when people do get shot in One Piece, like there's like it's kind of like silhouetted, but like you don't really hear her
Yeah,
getting shot. It's just like the sound of a gunshot. So it's so possible because
I'll
it's
be
like
honest.
there's no like
Yeah,
character to her.
there's not what.
I said there's no character to her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
honestly,
Rose. Yeah, Rose.
what's up?
Just said like she's supposed to die in the fire, but like she died off screen to a bullet.
Yeah, I feel like, and I know this is going off topic again, but I feel like the Scabbards as a whole and the characters in Wano as a whole have been lacking in terms of characterization. I mean, but then again, I guess it's kind of unfair to say that when who knows how much longer this arc's going to go on for. Who knows what's going to be revealed. But yeah, I don't even remember that. I initially thought that maybe Toki, if she was going to send others into the future, would have to maybe like sacrifice her life force to make that happen. Because
I mean, yeah, we don't understand how the power works.
Right. See, that's the thing, and honestly, it's just being a time travel fruit. I think I would have much preferred it if it just manipulated time, because this being the legit time fruit, like there's not going to be any other fruits like this. It's kind of like, so all she can do is jump into the future. Like
that's what she said. I mean, there could be more to it.
I mean, I know this is mostly because I fantasized about how amazing a time fruit could be, and now I'm just like, oh, so it's just a time machine. Like,
so Rose says that some people think she's Bonnie, and her traveling through time is her awakening.
Here's the thing, though. Why does she look so different now? Did she maybe get like a new body somehow?
And why is she not in Wano? Like, some people gotta think about their theories, you know. Like people who think, I don't know if people are serious about this, but people who think Green Bull is Odin.
What happened?
Some people who say like Green Bull is Odin. I'm like, what the hell?
Who is Odin?
Green Bull.
I'll be honest with you. That's a lot better than. What the hell? Wait, what just happened? Oh, okay. I don't know why I Can you can still hear me, right?
Yeah, I can still hear you. You think that Odin being Green Bull is better? I don't know about that.
No. I was gonna say it's. I was gonna say Odin being Green Bull is better than the stupid idea I had, which I think you already know about. That stupid idea I brought up where Odin could possibly be king. It's a lot better than that.
That would be wild because, like, what? So he's fighting. Because first of all, he was in the battle. Rose said that Odin being king was his idea too. But like, how is that even possible? He was shown in the flashback fighting Odin and his subordinates. What? So is that like Odin from the future just as king?
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, but it's like he was in the flashback fighting the Scabbards and Odin. So
yeah,
how
that's
could
true.
He even be king?
Well, when I said that, it was before we saw that chapter, and I wasn't really being serious. I was just saying how interesting would it be if Odin basically got tortured so badly that they basically like psychologically reconstructed him. Like they, what's brain? I guess brainwashing would be the correct term. I was at that point. I was saying how interesting would it be if Kaido, like what he was trying to do with Luffy, break him and make him into a member of his crew. At one point, I thought it would kind of be a cool twist if Odin doesn't remember being Odin and he's been king all this time. But obviously that can't be the case. It would have been a pretty emotional reveal, though. You know. Yeah. I mean, I hate to say it, but I honestly would have preferred that to Odin being boiled in a pot. I mean...
Yeah, but the whole thing about, you know, the will and stuff, you know, he had to die so other people can carry on his will, like his son, Momo, and all that.
Yeah, I feel like he was dumb dirty, though. I honestly feel... I mean, yes, that was the point. You know, that was the point of the way in which he was executed. Well, quote unquote executed, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, you can tell there's really not much else I can say about the chapter.
Yeah, I mean, this chapter was. I mean, I'm happy that the whole traitor thing is just solved, no matter how like meh it was. But then
Yeah,
I'm also like the whole kid thing though is like that has to be explained
what kid
because
thing?
kid showing up there.
Oh, right, because he went somewhere.
Yeah, and not even that. He
Yeah,
said like he doesn't
I
want to do
mean,
alliances anymore. So it's like I'm thinking like either they talk to him off screen or something, or like what if he
which
just
is
coincidentally.
really.
Yeah, it's. I mean, unless they do a flashback, or is it like he's just coincidentally showing up at the
This
same time, which would be weird.
One Piece is becoming as bad as Naruto when it comes to flashbacks, and I never thought I would say that before. I mean,
I mean, the only bad
stop on
flashback,
screen stuff.
the only bad flashbacks, in my opinion, so far has been the older one though.
Just stop off screening stuff, Oda. Come on, that's the you know. I mean,
As soon as page one and Sanji was off screen, all bets are off, yo.
when that happened, I was ready to drop the series, legit, and that will always be one of the main reasons as to why this arc, even if it was great beyond that, would never be a 9 out of 10. That is
Yeah.
that is a main character, Oda, a main character, and you hyped up Page One as being one of the main fighters for Kaido's crew, and that's how you hint.
Yep.
But nope, gotta show. You had to show a lot of respect to Oven, didn't you? And Daifuku. I mean,
I mean, those characters weren't even in Hokage Island as much as. I mean, they were
yeah,
in there, but it's like they weren't focused on that much.
they had more of a presence than Page One. Like,
Oven was putting in work.
yeah, but see, I know I'm in the minority here, but when it comes to me, as cool as Devil Fruits can be, what really impresses me are those who have to use their own strength. I know that doesn't really make much sense because the Devil Fruit is your own strength, but I'm far more impressed by characters who have to use their own strength and not solely rely on a Devil Fruit
You know, I get that, but
to
Odin, I'm
fight.
not, I said Odin. Odin was using his own strength. This dude got shot in the face by a gun.
Yeah,
He was still kicking. He got kicked by Sanji. He's still alive. He got
right.
run over by a ship. He was fine. Pound
Oh
hit
yeah.
him in the back with the I don't know
It's
what hit him, but this dude took a lot of punishment. He was
I'm
blasted
not.
by
Yeah.
Ichiji, and this dude is still standing
I
at
mean,
the end.
I'm not trying to say that Oven's weak. I know I've joked about that in the past, but I mean, you Oda in the manga itself, you had him as part of this kind of elite group of fighters, and one of them gets beaten off screen. I mean, unless he plans on bringing them back,
Nah,
which
Page One's in a wheelchair. I mean, he could come back rolling up in a wheelchair to the
he
war if he wants.
is.
Yeah, Erode says Odin's flashback would have been a lot better if it wasn't rushed. I agree with that.
If it wasn't what?
No, if it wasn't rushed. I
This
feel
whole
like
arc has been rushed.
yeah,
This arc,
I feel like the Odin thing, like maybe they should have off screen hit the white beard and Roger part. And actually
wait,
just
page something.
show that in the Roger flashback. Because I feel like when those two came on screen, Whitebeard and Roger, I didn't care about Odin anymore. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Like, I
See,
even forgot it was his flashback.
see, I get that, but it's also Whitebeard and Roger. I mean, they're characters we've known about for years before we ever knew about Odin. So, and this isn't necessarily a criticism towards Oda, but the characters that you've known about prior.
Have no fear, the loner's here.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, y'all?
What's
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
Good.
Doing all right. For some reason, I can't see the screen anymore, but I can still hear you.
Oh, okay.
And I'm still in the call.
Yeah, you are.
For some, it's not showing the hangout for me, but I can still hear and be heard.
Oh no,
that's weird. That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. For whatever reason, I end up getting dropped. Is it possible to come back in?
You can come back in, but I mean, you're still in here though.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, as long as I can still be heard, I won't worry about whether an icon is shown for me or not.
So, Lona, what do you think about the chapter? Oh, he's muted.
What? Maybe I think there was some background noise in background noise in the back. Yeah, that makes sense.
I forgot what we were talking about. Oh yeah. But wait, real quick back to the Chondro stuff. Honestly, I feel like it would have been better. Like, I guess the whole problem with the flashback is like, I guess I can understand why they're crying and stuff because they're close with Odin, but it's like I can't feel it because it's like I didn't really get to see them interacting as much. That's my whole problem.
Get who?
The Scabbards. Like, we didn't really get their interaction. So it's like, even when Odin dies, I'm like, yeah, it's sad for you guys, but it's like, I don't really feel it. Like, I don't have an emotional connection to these characters.
I know you mentioned that in the past.
Yeah, and it's weird because it's like, somehow, it's like, I feel like flashbacks are supposed to make you either love or hate a character, so this flashback somehow just made me care less about them. I don't hate or like them, I just care less about them now, somehow.
Honestly, at this point, it feels like they could be killed right now, and it would just be like, it's whatever.
Yeah, I'd be like, meh.
I mean...
Okay, so what's the topic?
So we're just talking about 974.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. So
how, like,
yeah.
Well, like, I thought it was strange that, like, Kid and like, Law and them just popped up out of nowhere.
With Luffy, too.
I mean,
we
all predicted the Luffy and Law, but like the Kid thing is like, this is said no more alliances, so it's like either they talk to him off screen or somehow he's coincidentally going to Kaido at the same time, which is
grimy,
which is weird.
Yeah, because how it left off, wasn't Luffy just like standing there like in his like armor, and then all of a sudden he's not in his armor, he's all the way in the water. Like, I'm like, he just like skipped over a whole like everything, and he just pops up over here.
Yeah, Odin, you do. I mean, you do realize Luffy's your main character, right? He is the face of One Piece, or are you deciding to make Kinemon the new Luffy?
I'll slip my wrist if that ever happens. Yeah.
No, I will jump into a boiling pot.
Like this, and then I don't feel anything about Kanji being a traitor because it's like we didn't really get any character moments with him with Odin, so it's like, like you don't. I don't really feel the betrayal. Like, obviously they feel betrayed because they know him, but like I don't feel like we know them like enough to really feel the betrayal.
Exactly.
I kind of felt like it was like forced.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Even the way he said it.
Yeah. That I'm the traitor. Like, I was laughing. I was like, yo, seriously?
Honestly, I think it would have been better if it's like what I personally think Oda should have done instead is have it be where Kanjuro's actually trapping them, and maybe one of the calamities, or maybe a few of the what are they called? The Flying Six.
Yeah.
Maybe a few of them are standing by, lying in wait, and Kanjuro's leading the Scabbards into a trap to potentially be.
I mean, this was technically the trap, though. But then, Law and Luffy and Kid showed up, though.
Yeah. But like, how much better would it?
It was like 3 battleships and then 1 little ship in this like storm. So it's like they would have been able to take care of them easily.
Where the hell did the storm come from? Is that supposed to be implied to be Kaido's doing?
No, I think it's just like symbolism kind of thing.
Okay.
It just happened to be a stormy day, I guess.
Yeah, because at first I'm thinking, wait, is Kaido just whirling his hands in the air and conjuring up storm clouds? Because that'd be pretty awesome.
And it was also like strange to where like, hey, I wonder who the traitor is. Oh well, I'll tell you, it's me.
Yeah.
Like it's like you got like no surprise, no like anticipation, no nothing.
And you're saying it right in front of all of them, like, hey guys, I'm just gonna say this and assume that you're not gonna try to kill me, right? I mean, like, isn't this funny, everyone? I'm the traitor.
And then, and then I was saying earlier, like, Kinemon saying, like, oh, like, I don't want to think about it right now, let's just press on. Like, what do you mean? That's the whole reason you ate this bad.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta find out who it is. Look, I know
and he's not even worth.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, and I'm like, how, like, Kiku is the one telling you, like, yo, what, like, come on, like, we gotta find this traitor. Like, you're like, nah, let's continue. Like, what? Like, how did you forget what Kaido said about, like, the traitor?
Man, he's not even worth, like, being the traitor. Like, his whole, like, character, like, thing, and then this instant switch is just lame. Like,
yeah.
Like, bro, you're the traitor? Like, come on. You?
Right. Then he's like, oh, I have no emotion towards you guys, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, what?
Like, that was so forced,
some emotion, man. Because your emotion over what happened to you as a child is what led you to this moment. So clearly, like, your emotions affected you because you felt like you were being persecuted for no fucking reason when you're a kid. So how can you tell me now that you have no emotions? Like, what?
I mean, I could see it being, Raizo or, Shinobu, because it would actually add context. But to him, it's like, dude, like, that's just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna pick somebody. Okay, I'll pick Raizo. Like, like, I'll pick Kanjuro. What?
The whole problem also is just like, Kanjuro would have been fine, but it's like, we just didn't see anything. Like, I mean, people say like there's like hints sprinkled throughout the story, and like, yeah, that's probably true, but it's like, my whole problem is like, there's no like connection to that character.
I feel like I cared more for Rebecca than I did any of the Scabbards. I hate to say it.
I mean, this might be not really a popular opinion, but I actually like Rebecca.
So do I. Yeah, I like both of them. Not so much Violet, because to me she kind of felt like she was just there, like a Robin 2.0.
Rose says that if there was glimpses of his charm and insanity, it would have made more sense, like foreshadowing build up. Yeah.
You could have. The thing is what did Kanjuro really do as a traitor? Because he was. Did anything that he did as a traitor really impact? I mean, I know I'm I'm sure it impacted things, but it's like in the current story, Doflamingo still got his head, beaten. Jack got fended off by I can never remember their names, Nekomamushi and Inuarashi. They headed him off. So it's not even like him, leading Jack to them resulted in the destruction of Zoe. It's still there.
Yeah,
I mean, I
but
mean,
it was mostly just to get Rizzo though, and he's giving them information though, but it's like what you do with that information from then on is up to you, not really his problem. And some of his information, like like he captured like the samurais, then like they destroy like the ports and stuff like that. So
Right.
it was useful information, but it's just uh,
I gotta ask something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Why did you need to insert a traitor into their group to begin with when you've got freaking Kaido and his crew as your major allies who can snuff them out like nothing? I mean, if Kaido wanted to, he could kill every single one of the scabbards right now. And by the way, what Kinemon said about what did he say? I want to take Kaido's head or something.
Yeah, I laughed at
really,
that
dude?
too.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm
Really,
like, what?
dude?
What can you do?
Odin couldn't beat Kaido.
Well, I guess. Well, I think it's confirmed that Kaido can't kill kids. So.
Right? Because when he grabbed Momonosuke, I feel like what Oda's trying to do, and maybe it could be argued that he always was doing this, is kind of giving Kaido a sort of twisted honor code. Like, twisted in the sense that like maybe there are limits to what he will and won't do, but then again that kind of seems a little contradictory considering other things he's been involved in the past, like
Well, I say that because the instance with Tama, or the when he came across Speed, like Tama, like she was like just had like a little scratch, and so I'm seeing a pattern to where okay, maybe he doesn't hurt children or something.
it
Like
could
I
also
don't
be
know.
because what threat can a child really pose to me? Like, I mean, I'm not to say that he's arrogant, because I'm pretty sure that Kaido is not the arrogant type. But
Yeah.
what can 90% of the One Piece world really do to him? I mean, no kid's really gonna be. I mean, Momonosuke sure as heck's not gonna be able to do anything to him at all.
Right.
You never
Like,
know.
oh man, I swear, if Oda has Momonosuke punch him in the face or something and do damage, that's it. I mean,
Are
come
you
on,
dropping?
man. Well, if it's believable, then no, I won't. If it's believable, like if Oda was just like Momonosuke armaments up his fist and uses his advanced armaments in rage and just punches his face in, okay, I can accept that. But if it's just like, oh no, I'm punching you with my regular arm, then I'd be like, no. Because Haki has been
Inconsistent.
Haki has. There have been cases where Haki can be drawn out through emotional responses. So, if that was to be the case with Momonosuke, maybe here's Kaido gloating about Odin's death, and in a rage he just decks him in the face.
Yeah.
And it, it won't really cause damage, but it'll just like give him like a small bruise or something.
Yeah.
I think people could accept that. It could just be showing, well, Momonosuke is the son of Odin. Odin, it makes sense that he had that innate kind of potential.
I don't know. I think you're giving people too much credit. I would write, honestly, in my opinion, because like, yeah, he could have the innate potential, but like, I don't know. He's not doing the stuff like Odin was doing when Odin was a kid.
That's true.
Yeah, Yeah, Oda's writing has been like off and on these past like chapters,
Yeah.
and so it's like the whole like the flashback. It was okay until the ending,
Yeah.
and so it's like
Well, until the dancing.
I thought it was
yeah,
me
and
personally.
so and, and so like I feel like he's trying to either like tie up any loose ends that he had to like retcon, or he's just closing it up just to put something in there.
Or he's created way too many characters to be able to keep around anymore. Because I feel like that's one of the issues with Wano, and the reason why the Scabbards to us didn't seem that not interesting, but that fleshed out, is because it feels like he created way too many characters for this arc, to where he doesn't really have the time to focus on the ones he may want to focus on.
Yeah.
So
it's like he created.
Well,
I feel like
go ahead.
I feel like it's because of. Like, I feel like the amount of characters is fine, but it's like he's chosen now to like speed up the story, so it doesn't do it. It's not good. And he also introduced so many plot points, and then the way they get it solved is just like, oh, this is the solution, and then let's move on. Like, remember how like Frankie was going around for half a chapter looking for the blueprints, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, Ashura, we're looking for blueprints, and then Ashura's like, oh yeah, I have those, and that's it. Like what? Like it made it seem like it was gonna be like a more significant thing, and then like the witch and our boy is just like, oh yeah, that's Denjiro, and Denjiro is also Kyoshiro. Okay, let's move on. And then now this chapter is like, oh my god, who's the traitor? We don't have to fight it. We don't have to fight the traitor. Then Kanjo's like, oh, I'm the traitor. All right. Let's introduce Luffy Law Kid now, and let's keep moving. Like what? It's like,
it almost feels like a bad sitcom.
Yeah, it's like
a bad sitcom.
Before the flashback, it's like traitor, then flashback, traitor, then after the flashback, traitor, then like they started, and it's just like, okay, yeah, like it's just moving so fast. I feel like I'm about to get whiplash.
I'm almost expecting like the final fight to happen in the next 3 chapters now.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, Kaido's down. All right, next island, like that.
Yeah. Oh, but by the way, I'm actually like a sub race of giants. Right. Dun dun dun. Oh, you know.
So was it stated that who was the traitor like in the flashback?
It's just Kanjuro, basically. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just Kanjuro.
By the way, are we ever gonna get the identity of the Mane user that was speaking with Orochi?
No, she was just a Kozuki person.
She was a member of his clan.
Yeah.
Okay, because I kind of feel like the way she was written and set up, it felt like she was going to have a bigger role in some way, other than just being, oh, nope, I'm dead now. Like,
no, the one who was convincing Orochi to, get money and all that. I have a theory about that though. It's like my theory is basically like, because you know how she said like she traveled outside or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah. So my theory is that somehow she met with Kaido, and then they spoke, and then remember how when she came, and then she was like, oh, like you should like build factories and then make weapons, and then someone might want to buy them and stuff like that.
Oh, that was Orochi's doing, not Kaido.
No. Yeah, but no, she was telling Orochi to do that. And I feel like what I feel like is that Kaido was the one who told her to tell Orochi that. And then Kaido comes out of nowhere and then wants to buy the weapons. But Orochi thinks that, you know, oh, Kaido's only here because he has the weapons, even though like Kaido's the one who actually suggested it to the old lady, and then she suggested it to Orochi, because it just seems like a little too coincidental, you know?
What does?
That no, just like I'm like Orochi, like the lady tells Orochi to make weapons, and then he does, and then Kaido comes out of nowhere, and then he gets weapons. It just feels like, you know, maybe Kaido's been like a puppet master this whole time.
See, that would make a lot of sense. You know, because I mean, I think I think we all know that Kaido, even if he's not, you know, super intelligent, he's not an idiot.
Yeah, why do people think he's not intelligent though?
Because of the way he's drawn, because he looks like just a stereotypical muscle-bound brute. But
then he has expressed things where, like, you know, remember how he was like, don't put that we captured a pirate.
Exactly.
In the newspaper. Like, he's smart.
People just have bad first impressions of him because they think he's just going to... I think people have it in their heads that he's basically just a mindless beast.
Yeah. And even the flashback shows you that he's not. This dude was literally like, if he had fought us before, like, we would have lost. That's why we tricked you, and we built up our forces. Like, no, he's just not. He thinks.
Yeah.
See, I'm actually, scared to see how, this whole war is going to turn out, because it's not looking good, because now, since you got Denjiro, who is Zoro supposed to fight? Like, is it King or
Smoothie?
Orochi?
I say Smoothie. I definitely say Smoothie.
Smoothie is useless, so I don't
know. I know you'll disagree, but until
I'm not.
Sorry,
I'm not agreeing. It would be probably more fitting, for Kids Crew to take on Big Mom's people, because the Scabbards will probably fight the Todoroki or the Numbers.
See, I feel like the Scabbards. Actually, no. Well, I was gonna say maybe they should be the ones to fight the Flying Six, and Luffy, Sanji. Because the reason why I said Zoro would fight Smoothie is because we all know Sanji's not fighting Smoothie. Number two is, and this is the main reason why I think that Zoro's going to fight Smoothie, and not just because she uses a sword. I refuse to believe that would just not use her in Whole Cake without a reason. I refuse to accept that. There has to be a reason why she is in Wano now. And
Smoothie?
let's not forget, even though it wasn't confirmed, to me, I think it's pretty clear that Smoothie is going to end up being the second strongest fleet commander after Katakuri. And who does Zoro usually fight when it comes to enemy groups? He always fights the second strongest. Luffy already took on Katakuri, so it makes perfect sense for Zoro to fight Smoothie.
I don't know, man. She's about to ask for help again.
But then again, we should also not forget that there's plenty of other characters that have been pretty hyped up who also really haven't done anything. Forgetting Blackbeard? What have we really seen him do? Pretty much nothing.
Blackbeard is gonna come in at the end.
But he's the main villain. Like, he's the main villain, and you're saving him for the very end.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not really saving for... We saw a lot of him, though.
Yeah, we saw him.
Yeah, but think about it this way, though. Like, we're going to see more of him after Wano. Like, I don't know how the whole thing is going to end, but presumably 2 Yonko will go down, and we're the 4 Yonko saga, so we're probably going to see more of, like, Shanks and Blackbeard after Wano.
Here's my concern.
Well, wait.
I feel like Shanks...
Hold on, before you go.
I feel like Shanks... Oh, okay.
Yeah, Rose was like, Zoro deserves a truly epic opponent who will make him unleash Ashura again. It's a shame Wano Samurai mostly a complete joke. And he said he wanted a combination of evil Odin somehow, a combination of Zoro, Luffy, and Sanji in personality, the strongest samurai to the perfect villain.
No, but here's my thing.
Zoro, yes?
I wanna touch on this.
You wanna what?
You're right in what you say about Blackbeard, but given the way that Wano has been going, I am very concerned for the flow of the future arcs, especially when we get to Blackbeard proper. I am very concerned about this same degree of pacing and rushing happening throughout the rest of the story. Very concerned about it. I am no longer excited for that now, because how do I know he's not just going to rush the rest of the arc, probably even more so than he is now, just to get done in 5 years?
Oh well, I feel like Blackbeard is gonna like come in like after Elbaf or something along that lines, because like Elbaf has a possibility of being Shanks's territory,
which I think
and
it should
then
be.
Then Conqueror's Haki might be expanded upon, like since the last two was observation and armament. So
it's pretty,
yeah.
And then we should get a sense of it a little bit in this one too. Like maybe like I feel like there's gonna be this awesome panel with like Luffy walking up to Big Mom and Kaido, and then all three of them using Conqueror's Haki or something. I feel like that would be
No, Kid 2.
Oh yeah, Kid 2. That would be cool. And then, but I feel like we might get maybe a little glimpse of what advanced Conquerors could do from one of the Yonko, but we'll see.
See, that's the thing that's weird, isn't it?
I feel like it'll be something along the lines of like it'll be similar to Shanks's, but it'll be like it won't knock you out, but it'll like hold you like kind of like a force thing, kind of like how the Jedi's like have that force like grip.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, like it'll be kind of like suppressing you.
I can give you my crazy theory on I can give you my crazy theory on it.
Oh yeah.
Devil fruit nullification.
I thought about that too. Like
that's possible. That's possible too.
And the reason why I say this is because why would Oda make the main character and strongest member of the Straw Hats specialize in conquerors if there wasn't something special to it? Not only that, why was Kizaru and the other admirals not shaking, but looking at Luffy with somewhat horrified looks on their faces just because of his conqueror's usage? There has to be
they see potential in him.
Right, but it was just his conquerors. All they felt was his conquerors.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, anyone who expresses conquerors usually makes a big name for themselves in the world.
That's true, but there has to be more to it than that, because...
I mean, yeah, there has to be more, but, like, I thought that's one of the main reasons.
No, I don't necessarily think that Conquerors is going to have a second form. I think it's going to be more focused, and here's what I would pretty much think. It's the ability to knock people out, but it's more so enforcing your will onto that person that causes them to be knocked out. So, what if all it is focusing it into like a single point, and potentially, I don't know, being able to use it to throw somebody's observation senses off slightly, using it to, maybe not necessarily. Do you know what I'm kind of going with this?
I get what you're saying. Like, instead of using it just to knock someone out, like using it like to influence them in other ways.
More so, like I could see conquerors being used to break somebody's focus when they're using observation.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not break it, but pretty much conquerors is attacking somebody mentally and spiritually. But the other thing I do want to say, and it's been something that I've felt strongly about because every once in a while I'll keep hearing people say, "Oh well, Blackbeard's going to kill Shanks," and I mean it's not guaranteed, but I think we all believe that, and I definitely believe that's going to be the case. Here's the thing, though: it's the Yonko saga. He's one of the Yonko. So far, they've all had their own. So you cannot just decide that, oh, I'm going to pull a Jiraiya and have Shanks have a kind of underwhelming and then just get killed by Blackbeard and that's it. It's the Yonko saga. It's not the whatever the version of Yonko that represents just 3 would be. It's the Yonko, the 4 Emperor saga. All 4 of them. So, all I'm going to say right now is you can't call it the Yonko saga if all of the Yonkos don't have an arc in it.
Yeah.
Black doesn't need to because he is the main villain. And just have him, I don't know, maybe show up at the end of Wano. I know it seems inconceivable, but it's possible.
I kind of want like a mini arc just following Blackbeard. Doesn't have to be too long. It could be like 10, even for just 5 chapters, just so because like like how Blackbeard said he's if the Marines aren't gonna use it, then I'm gonna take it for myself. We could just have like a couple of chapters following that story arc or something like that. I think that would be cool.
I believe it's gonna be something with him, like when he gets to Raftel with Luffy or something like that.
Yeah. Were you gonna say something?
And I still stick by my theory that it's not going to end at Raftel. Yes, I know it's called Laftel, but I'm still used to calling it Raftel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
Blackbeard is not going to stop Pirate King. He's not.
Oh well, no, like
he's gonna.
I believe the arc like isn't like going to end on like like once the other treasures are like found, and then it'll be like as a final like war arc and all of that stuff and so.
Yeah. My belief is that Blackbeard is definitely going to be in that one. Definitely. And here's why. Wouldn't it be more interesting if Luffy gets to the left hill, Blackbeard's there, gets beaten by Blackbeard first, because that's always the case in One Piece. He always loses once, then comes back and wins the second time.
Yeah.
So, he gets beaten by Blackbeard. And I'm not saying it would be a one-shot, because obviously that'd be ridiculous if Luffy got one shot by Blackbeard at that point. But say that, maybe Luffy's... Okay. Pretty much it's my belief that, as with every arc so far, starting with Whole Cake, he's either gained better control over an ability he's already had, or gained a new form of it. Obviously, in Whole Cake, it was observation. Here, it's armament.
Yeah.
You could say that when he meets Shanks, maybe Shanks could potentially tell him some things that maybe really didn't know. I know that sounds ridiculous, but who knows? And then when he goes to fight Blackbeard, a Devil Fruit Specialist, that's when he maybe doesn't get awakening, but that's when he masters awakening.
Okay, so do you believe that Luffy is going to meet him before he dies? to like give the hat
I do
back?
Because it's not just because of Luffy. My thing is, it's not just Luffy's fight. It has to be the Blackbeard. So you need to give the other Straw Hats some kind of connection to the I almost call them the Shanks Pirates. You need to give the other Straw Hats some kind of a connection with them for his death to be meaningful, or to be meaningful. I mean, they're strangers pretty much to the rest of them, Usopp. And I think it's very important that Usopp meet Yasok. Very important. I would be very disappointed if that didn't happen, because it's not even just about liking Shanks. When you create a character as an author, and they're on that level, they're such a big name, they're such a big deal in your story. You kind of do owe it to your characters. I know that sounds really weird because they're not real, but you kind of do owe it to your characters to show them respect. You kind of do owe it to your characters, especially your fans, to do more with them than just have a fight where they die. I mean,
yeah, that's what a lot of people are worrying about. They're worried that we're going to see Shanks go all out once, and then he's just going to die.
I would I know I've joked about it, but that probably would be the breaking point for me. Because then it would just be Ace all over again. Actually, no, in some ways it'd be worse than Ace. Because we've known about Shanks since chapter 1. And Ace, sure, we learned about him later, but he's not really had as much influence on the entire series as Shanks has. And, his standing in the world, his connection to Luffy, and as I said, Usopp's father being one of his main crew members, it would be so much more emotional for the Straw Hats if they met these people. Zoro knows about Shanks, obviously, but I don't think he's ever met him before.
I don't think they really need to meet him, because it's more of a Luffy and Usopp thing, and mostly really Luffy.
Here's what I think. I think Luffy probably is gonna like come to Shanks and say here's your head, and then Shanks will say, nah, keep it, and then like I hope the crew meets his crew, and then Usopp and everything, and then
just making a short. Go ahead.
Yeah, like a short clash, and then he'll give him some advice or whatever, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
And then I think he'll somehow cross Blackbeard, and then he'll die.
I think it would make more sense if Blackbeard actually wants something from Shanks that we don't know about. And that's the reason why. Because if you think about it, every opponent Blackbeard's gone up against, with the exception of Ace, which only happened because Ace attacked him. Let's be honest here.
Right.
Every opponent he's gone up against it's been because there was something he sought them out for. Obviously, with Whitebeard, it was his devil fruit. Impledown, it was because he wanted to add more members to his crew. So there's always a reason beyond I'm just here to fight. Shanks, it could. I don't know. I mean, it's probably because of his pony glyphs. I mean, we could pretty much assume that Shanks has one, but there might be something more there. It might. The other thing I was going to say, though, is this. You owe it to your fans to give them, maybe I shouldn't say what they want, but kind of what they deserve.
Oh, well, it's a promise.
I mean,
technically,
yes,
it's a promise. Yeah.
I mean, you could argue that it would be more interesting if Oda didn't do that with Shanks. You could argue that, but at the end of the day, it's entertainment. It's got fans for a reason, and I mean, you've had so much stuff set up potentially through character dialogue, like Luffy saying, "I'm going to beat every single one of the Yonko, every single one."
Yeah.
You know, now does that mean it's going to happen? No, but you've put that into your readers' heads. You've put that into the fan base's heads, to where they now expect it.
Right.
And I'm not saying he's going to beat them, but he should at least get to a point where he can, in some capacity, fight all four of them at some point. Like, you know, fight Shanks, and you know, it doesn't end up being a victory. I'll tell you a theory that I had that I really liked. Luffy fights Shanks, and he and the crew leave, and that's when Blackbeard shows up, and he kills Shanks because Shanks is actually weaker now. So he's.
I feel like it would just be that Blackbeard is stronger. Because that's one of the reasons I feel like he left Marineford. He's like, yeah, I can't fight you right now. And even if he could, like even if he could, his crew wouldn't survive because they're definitely not at that strength yet.
I kind of look at it from this perspective. I don't think there was any way that Blackbeard has gotten that strong in 2 years. 2 years.
Why not?
Now,
Luffy is about to be.
No. What I mean is the 2 year time skip.
Yeah.
Now, when I look at Blackbeard, I do believe that what Oda, you know, hasn't really been successful at doing, but he has been doing, is trying to have Blackbeard and Luffy kind of grow around the same time. When Luffy's getting stronger, Blackbeard's getting stronger at the same time in some way, shape, or form. So, and that's not me trying to say that I think that Luffy and him are on the same level. No, definitely not. But when I look at Blackbeard, I think of the fact that every fight he's been on, he's had to use trickery. Now, my hope is that he's only been doing that because he's had to, and not because he can't fight without trickery. My hope is that we are going to get at least a few fights with him where he just wins because he's just using his own strength, whether it be his devil fruits or his physical strength or hockey or whatever. So when he fights Shanks, you know, I do think the thing about the Blackbeard part.
All like I can say is it's gonna be hard for anybody to fight a earthquaking black hole dragon.
Right.
Oh,
you think he's gonna get the dragon through?
Oh, he better be.
Yeah, he better be weird. I don't know.
Dude, that is gonna be terrifying.
I want to see a serpentine giant dragon shouting, freaking laughing so hard that he's creating quakes as he's flying. When you hear him saying "Zee-ha-ha-ha," the ground is shaking beneath him as he's flying.
That is going to be terrifying.
What if he's going after the jacket for Rio, and then Burgess is gonna put him on, and then it's gonna be Luffy versus Burgess?
No, honestly, you're all gonna hate me for this. This has been, and this isn't a theory that I came up with, obviously. Okay. I say, and I'm not saying he's going to exceed in this endeavor, but I'm going to say that one of the things he wants is the eternal youth surgery. And I'm not saying that he's actually going to get it, but he's going to try to get it. Think about it.
That would be an interesting route too, but I don't know.
I mean,
I feel like if that happens, then Law's gonna have to be done dirty somehow, and I don't want that.
Honestly, I feel like his character arc's already finished at this point.
Yeah, but I don't think it is.
So do you think that he's going to do that?
Use
that ability on Kaido?
No. It's possible, but here's the thing, and the reason why I not shouted just now is because I almost dropped my phone on the ground. So I can't. Why would Oda reveal that if he wasn't going to do something with it? Now, I'm not saying that Law's actually. I'm not saying Law's going to die.
Luffy, yeah.
I'm not saying Law's going to die. I mean, when I think of Law now, I know there are people out there that say he's going to betray Luffy, and that's possible. But I personally don't think that's going to happen, because when we got Law's flashback, it kind of, I don't want to say it kind of implied that he's a good person, because I know he's done things that are obviously questionable, very clearly questionable. Yeah, but his flashback, to me, like, if I'm not mistaken, at one point he declared that he wanted to be Pirate King, right?
Something like that.
Well, he said he wanted to figure out the history of the world. I thought
he doesn't need to become Pirate King for that. I heard one theory where he kidnaps Robin. I don't see that happening. I think that's against his character. I think he would consider it beneath him at this point, because what does Luffy do? He leaves an impression on him, meets, and meeting him, even if Law had intended something originally, Luffy definitely rubs off on people. And given, I mean, it's just what Mihawk said, right, about his ability to turn pretty much anybody into an ally. I do not see. I mean, I guess it could set up Law, but to be completely honest with you,
this is what I'll say. Like, I don't mind the Robin being kidnapped scenario, but not by Law, just because, like, so Law's one of my favorite characters, but, like, he's not as strong as Luffy. Like, so if he was stronger than Luffy, then I would prefer it, because at this point, Luffy needs to be fighting people like either on his level or equal.
Or how about this? Or how about this? How about Blackbeard kidnaps Robin, and then they race to Left Tail, and then that's where they have a battle there.
The problem with that is the fan base would explode, screaming, "You already had her!" I mean, she wasn't kidnapped by CP9, but that would be yet another rescue arc, technically, and we already had that with her before. So, if you're going to do the kidnapping route with her, then you need to do more than that. Like,
technically, they already had the Robin 2.0 with Whole Cake Island.
Yes and no, but that's something else entirely. I'm gonna throw this out there though. Blackbeard maybe going after Shirahoshi Poseidon.
Possibly.
What is she? She's one of the 3 weapons. I wouldn't be surprised if Blackbeard had somehow gotten his hands on that information, because he's very resourceful. And what do we know about the Yonko? Apparently they have some kind of vast information network.
Which is only convenient when the plot deems it so.
Yeah. But here's the other thing, too. What did Blackbeard say regarding the Marines? About about them wanting something.
Yeah.
I mean, people have said,
it was
"Oh,
probably in the newspaper. I don't know. Who knows at this point?
I mean, people have said it's the Flare know me, but here's the thing. Why in the heck would the Marines want that when Akainu has the superior magma fruit, Kizaru has his devil fruit?
Why would it be the fire fruit?
What?
What? You said the flare, right? Well, yeah, why would it be that?
That's what I'm saying. Why would it be that? Yeah. I mean, number one, it would be really dirty to kill Salvo. If Salvo was going to die, it should be in the final. If Salvo was going to die, if he was going to die, it needs to be at the very end.
All I'm gonna say is this: Salvo's not dying for two reasons. One, he air quote died already in the flashback, and he's back.
Yep.
And then Ace already died. Is like, so what?
Yep.
He's gonna die again. It's just.
Yeah.
It's just not good story wise, really. I would say.
He's gonna pull a Pedro.
Getting back to the whole law thing, though. Didn't Oda in an interview at the beginning of 2020 or the end of 2019 say something along the lines of Luffy will learn about sacrifice?
He did?
Something along those lines, like Luffy will sacrifice something, or he'll... It seems implied that he's going to have a sort of other Ace moment where somebody else is going to die, but this is going to be even more monumental for him.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's not what Oda meant, but and I know there's a lot of law fans out there that would be angry about this, but here's the thing. I hate to say it, but to me, Law really hasn't. I mean, yes, he's done stuff, but what's he really? What's his role really now? I guess he could become one of the future Yonko, assuming there even are another set of Yonko, which I think is possible.
Yeah, but Law has experience. He has I forgot the word I'm gonna. But like he's expressed interest in finding out what the D means.
Right, which is why I think more than likely he's going to be. I think eventually he is going to become friends with Luffy. Eventually.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they are friends, but he's just like the.
I
feel like he's just being edgy and saying like, "Oh yeah, we're not really friends," but.
Yeah, that's why I said they kind of have like a Roger and Whitebeard relationship, where they both have a lot of respect for each other. He might, he might consider Luffy to be a complete idiot, but he definitely respects the strength that Luffy has.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt that Law understands that. Yeah, Luffy's not weak. And here's the other thing too. I'm pretty sure Law doesn't know about the fight Luffy had with Katakuri, does he?
Oh, no.
I feel like he would know. Actually, I don't know. Who knows? Like, they don't even talk. That's why characters don't talk to each other sometimes.
Yeah, that infuriates me. Like, so much could be said. And I apologize for completely derailing what should be a conversation about the current chapter.
It doesn't matter because the chapter was like, there wasn't really too much, So Rouge, however he wants to be called, posted a link. Let's see.
I won't be able to see it.
Tekken's Twitter.
Yeah.
Let me check that.
What is it about?
Through every.
Wait. Tekken said he's going through every Conjuro scene for a video tomorrow. And then so he posted a panel where when they're climbing Zou, what's the name? Conjuro says like water would melt his creations. But I guess it's not true because right now it's raining on the boat.
Wait, what is this? I'm looking on Twitter. I'm looking at Twitter right now. anything but water, Neko, Zaemon will melt. What?
Yeah.
Well, right here, he lied about water melting his creations since it was a downpour. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
completely forgot about that. So,
But you know that Oda, like, he forgets everything, so.
I mean, I forget a lot of things. I just forgot that.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, I won't get on Oda too much for that because, I mean, everybody forgets. But at the same time, there
You
are
gotta be
some.
consistent, though.
Yeah,
You
like.
think Oda just forgot? I feel like Kanji's just lying.
What about being the creator?
No, about the water.
Yeah, he probably is just lying about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's been lying about almost everything. He lied about being a bad artist. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Tekken was trying to say right there.
And that's what the Roach is saying too. He's just lying and pretending he's an actor. That's true. He is an actor with no emotions apparently. Even though his emotions is basically what's making him do what he's doing. But let's not talk about that.
It's crazy that he and I are in the same state. We're both in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
But well, what was I saying? What was there something being said? Okay, so I'm gonna say this for Wano. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that will disagree with me on this, saying that it's too much for one arc, yada yada yada. But considering the editors did say something along the lines of this arc will make Marineford feel like child's play, this to me is what needs to happen then if it's really going to deliver on that. Number one, Blackbeard needs to show.
Question on that before you go.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was talking about the final war.
Was he?
That's what I feel like, really.
Because thing, we've already got 2 emperors. It's the Yonko saga. Why not just bring the remaining 2 in somehow?
Like towards the end. That's too much.
But why not have all 4 on screen at least once?
I mean, it could happen, but I don't want them to all be there for too long.
Well,
because
not necessarily.
My whole thing is it feels already bloated as it is with all these characters who don't do anything anyway.
Right, but that's why I said towards the end. That's why I said at the end, like after pretty much all the fighting is done.
Yeah,
Kaido's weak from his fight. Big Mom's weak from her fight. Blackbeard wants to go in there to try to snuff them out because they're weak enough for him to kill them pretty much effortlessly. And Shanks goes to try to prevent that because Shanks is pretty much a keeper of the balance.
Yeah.
That's what I'm suggesting.
It would be good to see all 5 Yonkos, using conquer at the same time.
Like, I'm not suggesting all 4 are gonna like trade blows, which would be glorious, by the way. But I mean, but then again, Oda could always do that with a new set. Like, when Kid and Luffy get to that level, they eventually have a fight, and through them we get to see the strength of, what 2 emperors going all out would actually look like.
Yeah.
But I don't know. When we had that chapter with Blackbeard talking about Wano, I know it seemed like he was just reading it off of a newspaper, but the way in which it was written to me kind of implied that he had some intel. I mean, the way he was saying it, the way he was smirking when he was talking about it, to me it kind of seemed like, oh yeah, he's probably got a spy there. He's probably got somebody gathering into.
Probably. I mean, it's kind of like alluded that I guess like all of the Yonko just have spies everywhere basically, and they know everything.
I mean, he's literally got a dude who can go invisible. All Oda would have to say is, I gave.
Rose says we don't know who his 10th captain is, but I feel like we do. Don't we? Know all his 10 captains?
We don't. I don't even know if we know about. Well, we don't know about the 10th because. I'm trying to think. So there's. I guess we should count off those who would be the captains. So obviously we've got Burgess, we've got Lafitte, we've got Van Auger. I'm starting off with the original Blackbeard Pirates, by the way. That's why I'm off that one.
And Alan Pizarro.
We've got Doc Q, and then we've got obviously all right. So there was Avalo Pizarro, there was Devon. There was Shiryu. There was San Juan Wolf. And if I'm not mistaken, the last one we know about, or the last one that we saw when they were all together at Marineford was, what's his name? The heavy drinker dude, whatever his name is.
Vasco Shot.
Yeah, so that's 9.
I feel like it's Aokiji.
Yes. I absolutely agree. I think it has to be.
Yeah, I feel like he's the 10th one.
And I have had people say
hypothetically speaking, if if they have their one-on-ones, who the heck is fighting Aokiji?
Well,
here's the thing.
Against the Straw Hats.
Here's the thing, though.
See, but
Kuzan's probably going to die before that happens. Because remember what Burgess said.
I believe he is a double agent anyway. So.
Well, we are. I mean, that's pretty much already been confirmed. But let's not forget that. Let's not forget what we said at Dressrosa. Remember the conversation between Burgess and Blackbeard regarding not being able to trust Kuzan, and what did Blackbeard say regarding Shiryu? Well, we can't trust him either. Guess what, though? He made him a Titanic captain. So, Blackbeard, to me, based on those words, it seems like what he would do is to kind of convince Kuzan that he's got one over on him. He makes him the 10th captain, but he knows that Kuzan is spying on him, and so he eventually ends up killing him and giving his devil fruit to Burgess.
Rhodes says Brooke is Aokiji's grandfather. He says Admiral Level Brooke coming through. Yo, quick question. Do any of you guys read Berserk?
I haven't started, but I plan on it though.
Oh, you should, cause Brago's about to stream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not my cup of tea. I just think that it's, to me, it's just unnecessary torture. And yes, I know that it does play a role in the story, but here's the thing: do I really need to see that stuff? Is that really necessary?
It's all part of the story. Oh, I don't know my voice. It's all part of the story.
For me, there's a limit to what can and can't, to what should and shouldn't be done. Personally, there's a limit, and it just crosses that limit.
So what is wrong with that?
Look, if I want to be depressed, there's other things I can potentially watch and or read.
Yeah, but it doesn't only make you depressed. It has its wholesome moments, and it's all towards advancing the characters, and then it shows you how they came to be and what decisions led them to where they are right now.
And I have the last chapter that was released, or the last few chapters that were released, I did actually read, because while I haven't read the entire manga, and while I haven't read the entire manga, I have, however, what was that? Oh, I'm sorry. While I have read the entire manga, or haven't, why am I hearing a quack? Are you still there?
Yeah, we were here. I don't know where that quack is from either.
You know what I think it is? I think it's probably I think it's probably my phone telling me that the battery's getting low.
That's the sound it makes.
Yeah, that's the thing is quack right now. Gonna quick plug this phone in. Where did I put that charger on it? Yep.
Oh,
wait, is that somebody in the stream making that noise?
I'm not. I don't know where it's coming from.
But no, I'm not. I'm like, who's that quacking?
Yeah, I guess the Pixel 3 must just do that when it's getting low. All right, here we go. It's charged now. What was I saying? So when it comes to Berserk, number one, I'd rather. Well, actually, the real reason why I don't read it is because of how long it takes for chapters to come out. You know, I'd rather not read a series that's not going to end.
It is going to end, because at least he's not like Hunter x Hunter. At least with Miura, he releases chapters like yearly. And like Hunter x Hunter, I mean, I know he does that, but sometimes he doesn't. So it's like, at least with Miura, I feel like it's kind of guaranteed that he'll release chapters every year.
See, the thing about him is, though, he also started a brand new series.
Yeah.
So you're starting a new series, and the ongoing one is not done yet.
Yeah, but then for that series, he actually has assistants, whereas he's not really going to be doing too much work on it as much.
Okay.
Yeah, because I did read an article about it, but yeah.
I will say this though. I don't see how Berserk can end other than the God Hand just wrecking everybody. I mean, I know it's probably not going to be that kind of a thing where they're supposed to beat the God Hand, but here's the thing. They're just.
Where did you? Well, I was gonna ask where you dropped it, but Lona says she's gonna start it soon, so I don't wanna. We don't have to talk too much about it. So.
And technically, I did just spoil it by dropping the name God Hand.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't really say much.
Oh well, I don't know who that is anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't really say much.
Well, I won't. Yeah. I don't think this is a spoiler, but I will say this, and it's not about this series necessarily. I will say this. Why am I hearing sound effects in the background? Is somebody putting them in the Hangout somewhere?
No.
No.
Now, why am I hearing things? There must be a tab I have open that's sending me a bunch of sounds for whatever reason. But what was I going to say? There's a reason. What?
Oh, I just heard a fart.
Yeah, I've been hearing. That's where somebody.
Yeah, I did hear the fart, but I don't know where that's from.
Who's doing that? Is somebody on the call doing that?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Anyway, as I keep getting sidetracked in my thoughts, it's very clear to me how. Okay, the reason why I don't think the series is going to have a happy ending, without going into spoilers, is because Berserk is essentially an H.P. Lovecraft type of story.
Yeah.
And
that's cool then.
Yeah. So, and actually, if I'm not mistaken, one of one of what did you say the creator of Berserk's name was again? Did you
yeah,
say that his
Miura.
name is Miura?
Mhm.
If I'm not mistaken, one of his main influences was Clive Barker, who you may know was the creator of Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
No, yeah.
Okay.
All of these are influences to his story.
So, it's because this seems like it's supposed to be that kind of, you know, that kind of story. I'm saying this as vaguely as possible, of course. I don't really see how it's going to have how it's going to have a happy ending, which would not be a
I
problem
don't
for me.
think it's meant to, really.
Probably not. It's probably just going to end with everybody being trapped in the eternal, heck.
Yo, what is that?
I feel like that's
No, I get what you're saying, but I don't think we should go any further, though.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to go any
Yeah.
further.
Yeah. Well, the only series, that I plan on reading is that one and solo leveling.
Leveling, yeah.
The series that I want to read are 20th Century Boys. Yeah, 20th Century Boys.
Yeah,
I've never heard of it.
It's by Naoki Urasawa, the creator of Monster.
Oh, okay.
I want to read that. I do want to read Billy Bat, which is also by him. However, I'm not sure if that series is continuing or not.
Oh yeah,
but
I was talking to myself.
Have you read Yaiba yet? Because I
I've never heard of that. Spiral is also on my list.
Okay.
Which I think that anime is supposed to come out fairly soon.
What's Spiral?
I believe the Japanese name for it is Uzumaki. It's a.
Sounds kind of familiar.
Let me see if I can find it. Uzumaki. And I don't know if either of you two are video game fans, but the author for Uzumaki was originally involved in the creation of Silent Hills. You know, the Silent Hill game that Kojima was involved in.
Yeah.
Okay, so Uzumaki is it's a manga. It's a seinen horror manga. Junji Ito. Not sure if you two are familiar with that name at all.
Oh, I love Junji Ito. I love reading his stuff.
So if you like him, then you'll probably like Uzumaki.
Is that also his work? Or is this kind of like his work?
Says written and illustrated by him.
Oh. Ooh.
So yeah, written by Junji Ito. So
let me see if I've actually read it, because it does sound familiar.
I think it's it's basically about a city where really bizarre things are happening involving spirals, and I think it might be an anthology. I think it's just a series of stories that are all tied to the same, I guess, city.
Oh yeah, I did see the trailer for this on Cartoon Network.
I definitely want to read this.
Yeah.
And apparently it's only 3 volumes long, so it kind of, I don't know if either of you two have ever seen or heard of Paranoia Agent.
I've heard of it.
No. Which might just be an anime, but let me just check here. Paranoia Agent. Okay, here we go. It is just an anime.
Any of you guys read or watch JoJo?
No.
I watched it well, but I haven't like seen it like from like the start. Like I just saying whatever it comes on like TV.
Yeah.
But
Hey.
what was?
Yo,
I hate.
Rose, is that you? Like with all those sound effects
It probably is him.
coming on like for 1 second and play sound effects. But yeah, I love JoJo's. One of my favorite anime slash manga. I started reading it after I caught up with the anime.
See, it's a lot.
Nope.
Like that I have to like catch up on. So it's like I want to start like something, but like I don't want to start something like that is like super long.
JoJo? I don't think JoJo's is too long though.
Well, each part's its own self-contained story in some respect.
And even then, I don't think each part is too as long. But I get what you're saying though. Like I have a long list of stuff I want to watch, and it's like
I
get so overwhelmed when I look at my list. Sometimes I'm like, yikes.
I have so much I want to read and watch that I don't have the capability to read and watch because I don't know where I could read or watch them.
Yeah. I mean, trying to read like 20,000 chapters is kind of hard.
like when it comes to anime, I guess I could conceivably just subscribe to Crunchyroll, even though I don't like the fact that they don't also offer dub. But I get why that's not the case.
Crunchyroll does have dub. It just depends on. They do? Yeah, it depends on the anime though.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, for the most part, I prefer sub. It's just there's only like 2 series that I've seen where I'll never watch the sub because the dub to me was just that great. But yeah, for the most part,
My Hero.
What about it?
Well, do you like it subbed or dubbed?
I haven't actually watched it. I saw like a clip from it or something.
Okay. I would say it is better in the dub because sub sounds like
I heard Deku's voice in the dub.
Yeah.
And I think it's much better than his sub voice.
Yes.
And I hate
all squeaky.
Yeah, I hate to be that guy, but one of the reasons why I'll never watch FMA subbed is because Edward sounds like a woman. And I don't mean any disrespect. I don't mean any disrespect to the original VAs. But look, Vic Mignogna is Edward Elric to me, and that's who I grew up with. So, I mean, hearing Tsunade's Japanese voice coming out of Edward Elric's mouth is just so weird to me. Like, I mean, I understand, that I feel like I've probably just agitated a lot of people by saying that right now, but like, I mean, that's the reason why I can't watch DBZ subs because hearing Goku with a female voice is just so odd to me. And no disrespect to the woman that voices him. I mean, she's like 80 something, maybe 90 now. All respect to her, but I just she's also too screechy too when she screams. Like, like
right. Right.
But heck, I mean, speaking of voices, I'll say this. Speaking of Naruto's sub voice is far superior to his dub voice. I hate his dub voice.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to joke by saying Naruto's dub voice actor is Melissa McCarthy's sister. because she just sounds like Melissa McCarthy to me. She gives me that kind of vibe, if you know what I'm saying. But
see, to me, the only the character that has a good subbed and dubbed voice is like Luffy and Zoro and like
I feel like Luffy sounds like he smokes in the dubs.
See, I can't stand Zoro sounding exactly like Piccolo. I know it's Chris Sabat, but come on, man. You don't have better range than that? Like, take this in perspective. I know the are you still there?
Uh-huh.
Okay, good. I know the 4Kids dub gets a lot of crap, but let's keep this in mind. Zoro in the 4Kids dub was voiced by Guts' dub voice actor. Yeah. So you replaced him with Chris Sabat, a.k.a. Vegeta and Piccolo. I'm sorry, but he's got one of the lowest vocal ranges I've ever heard in a voice actor. I mean, and
I remember how remember how Sanji's voice will sound.
I don't like him sounding like Trunks either. I'm sorry. And don't get me started on Shanks. People can say what they want about Shanks, but I feel like his 4Kids dub voice fit him because he's a party goer. He's a goofball when he needs to.
Like Sanji's was like really French.
It was, but I didn't necessarily like the voice, but I liked that French aesthetic because I don't know, it made them feel like they came from different cultures and whatnot. And
they are kind of supposed to represent different cultures, right?
Yeah. Like Usopp, I believe, is supposed to be. I think Oda at one point even had an interview on that and said that Luffy, I believe Luffy would be Chinese, Zoro would be Japanese, Usopp would be Brazilian, I think. Sanji would be French.
Yeah.
So. And then I'm sorry, but I also liked Mihawk's voice. I liked that whole kind of Spanish almost sounding, not definitely not trying to be racist here.
I mean, it does look like he'd be from Spain.
But, I mean, his name is Dracul Mihawk. Like when he said it that way, I'm sorry. When I heard the Funimation dub, the line delivery to me was lacking emotion. They didn't emote enough. I mean, Luffy.
So Roach says Mihawk was full on French. Usopp is African. Luffy is Brazilian. Nami is Swedish. Robin is Russian.
Wait, Luffy's Brazilian?
That's what Roach says.
Huh. Oh, could have fooled me. And here's the other thing that bothers me too. What is it with dubs not using the Japanese names for the attacks? In Bleach, all of the Zanpakuto had their Japanese names. Sure, the release commands were in English, but the names of the Zanpakuto themselves were in Japanese. The attacks, I'm pretty sure, were in Japanese. Why is it in One Piece that, it's the Glint Glint instead of the Japanese name? I mean, all of you...
Instead of Katakuri, it's like Dog Tooth.
What? Wait, is that his actual name in the dub?
Yeah.
I mean, you translate, yeah.
See, here's the thing. So,
your Neko and Ino is like Dog Storm and Cat Viper.
Oh my god.
See, here's the thing. First of all, Luffy's voiced by Gohan's current voice actor, and I'm sorry, but I don't like the voice at all. I really don't. There's just in the. I feel like he's a little too. I don't want to say screechy, but he's a little too.
In the sub.
No, in the dub.
Oh.
In the sub, I'm trying to find the right words for what I'm trying to say here. In the dub, he sounds. I don't know if I'd say screechy at times.
He sounds like he smokes.
Yeah, and then with Piccolo, with Rorinola Piccolo. I'm sorry, you're Chris Sabat. Why are you? It frustrates me because it's almost like he chose the role because I'm Chris Sabat and I get all the roles I want. Like, come on, man. Like, I mean, the other thing too is that in the sub, Zoro actually can sound insightful and intelligent. In the dub, he just sounds like he's stone dumb. Like, I'm Zoro. And it's like, come on, man. Like, and then there's Usopp sounding exactly like Krillin. I'm sorry, I prefer his poor kid's voice. I do. Then there's Ace, clearly voiced by the guy that plays Roy Mustang. Gee, you couldn't find somebody else to play a character that has fire powers? It had to be him.
I mean, another problem with the dub, I feel like, is that
Frankie
there's
has
only
a completely different.
I hate Kizaru's voice in the dub. Terrible.
I feel like it's just because, like, there's only like 5 people who do dubs in the West. So it's like there's only so many voice actors you can choose from.
Just hire more. Also, I will say this though for the One Piece dub, Funimation. Blackbeard's dub voice was amazing. I would even say that his dub voice is better than his sub voice, which unfortunately is unfortunately Blackbeard's original dub voice actor has passed away, from what I understand.
Sure.
And now he's going to be voiced by the guy that plays Hercule in Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, because I definitely think Hercule when I think of Blackbeard. Like, I don't know. I think it's the line delivery too. A lot of the times in the One Piece dub, it literally just sounds like they're reading off of a paper. And I understand that's what they're doing anyway, but it almost kind of feels like they're just not as interested in putting their all into the role. They're not.
Some of the emotional moments don't really hit in the dub.
Have either of you two seen Yu Yu Hakusho?
Yeah.
Have you seen it dubbed?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I watched it. I like the dub.
Think of how much they put into their voice acting. I mean, Chris Sabat's Kuwabara was. I mean, he was. But if you pay attention, if you really recall how they played those roles, how they didn't just sound like they were sitting down and reading lines. They were actually acting it out. And in One Piece, it's just like, I'm Whitebeard. I'm here to save Ace. Let's fight. Instead of being more like, I'm Whitebeard. Where's my son? Like, when I think Whitebeard, I think, and pun somewhat intended, a booming voice. Like, I'm Whitebeard. Tell me where my son is now, Sengoku. Like,
speaking of voices, like one character from the 4 Kids that was like one of like my favorites was Don Krieg, because he was charismatic.
I liked Kuro too.
yeah, Kuro, he was awesome too.
I never really watched the 4 Kids only just to hear the voices.
Man,
I even liked
imagine like Kuro with hockey, or Don Krieg with hockey, dude.
Arlong's voice was great in the 4 Kids. Well, maybe not the line delivery, but the voice itself.
Yeah, he had hockey teeth or something like that.
There was something I was going to say. I just can't. What was I going to say? But yeah, I think that one of the biggest disappointments for me in terms of the Funimation dub is Shanks' voice. Like, yeah, I know they kind of made him sound like they were going for, at least to me, this is what it sounded like they were going for, an Irish drunk. But, I mean, the dude looks like he's supposed to be from, like, Scotland or Ireland, let's be honest. Like, red hair Shanks. I mean...
Maybe he dyed it red.
What?
Maybe he's a fake redhead.
No, but the way he dresses, the way the ship's design, all of that stuff, clearly screams to me like possibly Celtic from that kind of area. And I'm not saying that he has to have like an Irish accent or something like that, but I honestly think that that for the dub voice for Shanks, they should have gone with the guy who plays Kakashi for Shanks. I think. Actually, speaking of voice actors, I remember there was a time when people thought that Johnny Young Bosch would voice Marco because Ichigo's Japanese voice actor plays Marco in the sub. I think that would have been brilliant casting. Johnny Young Bosch would have been.
So? I didn't realize.
Yeah, Johnny Young Bosch would have been. Johnny Young Bosch. Yeah, it is. Here's another thing you might not know. Shunsui's sub voice also plays Blackbeard. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
And speaking of, I'd be remiss if I forgot to mention this. Speaking of Yu Yu Hakusho, you know who plays Doflamingo, right, in the dub?
I don't know the name.
Have either of you two seen all of Yu Yu Hakusho?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
Shinobu Sensui's dub voice actor. He's Doflamingo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That threw me for a loop. I'm like, okay, that's kind of brilliant.
That is cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And I will say I do like some of the choices. It's just the line delivery. Like I think I don't know the voice actor's name, but the man they chose to play Whitebeard, the same guy that played Bosk Gron in Full Metal Alchemist, I think that's a great choice. It's just the line delivery kind of feels a little weak at times. And that could just be whoever's directing these voice actors to say their lines.
Yeah. I don't really know much about dub actors because I don't really because the only dubs I watch are like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball.
About Black Clover?
Yu Yu Hakusho. No, I don't watch Black Clover. No, I don't.
Well, I should.
No real reason. It's just I plan to start eventually, but I want to catch up with what I'm currently reading first before I start a new series.
I'll probably wait till it's done.
Oh, well, it ain't too bad, actually.
Yeah. I've heard mixed things about it. Like, I feel like the general idea is that it's all right.
Mm-hmm.
It just, I feel like it came out, it came out a little too early. Like, they should have waited just a little bit longer, considering that Fairy Tail is still fresh in some people's minds. Like, you've got another magic-based series that, and I'll be honest, like, I'm not trying to hate here, but to me it kind of feels a little too generic. Now, granted, I haven't read it, so I'm just going based off of first impressions, of course. But the main character doesn't really seem that interesting to me. I mean, his whole deal is that he wants to what?
Be the Wizard King.
And yet he can't use magic.
Yeah, but he
Like,
uses something.
Well, like,
He uses like anti-magic, sort of.
and all he does is fight with a sword.
Yeah, but I think he can
yeah,
do
that's
more.
true.
He can do more than that.
Yeah,
And
because
then,
you see, the point is, he is like the shonen like Trump. The main character is useless. He can't do anything, but he trains hard to be special and stuff. So I think it's actually pretty like good,
okay. I guess,
like to give him a anti magic like weapon so that he doesn't have to focus on like magic per se.
I guess I'm just, I guess I'm just kind of stuck in the 90s because, I grew up with things like Rurouni Kenshin and Yu Yu Hakusho and
Oh yeah.
those series to me, not to be a downer here. Those series to me, their protagonists just blow every other shonen protagonist out of the water. Potentially, because I haven't actually read Shaman King, although I have heard people say that it's great. Yo could potentially be on that level too, but again, I haven't read it.
Don't forget Zatchbell.
Zatchbell I was a fan of, but it has the whole "I want to be the king" or "I want to be the best," and
But that's a lot of children, though.
I think that's the reason why I like you. I feel like
Zatchbell is kind of like a mature version of Digimon and Pokemon.
Yeah, I've seen it. I know that unfortunately, apparently the anime stopped before the manga was finished.
Yeah.
But when I see when I look at, and maybe I'm just showing my age here, so forgive me, but when I look at characters like Yusuke, when I look at characters like Kenshin and Edward, their goals weren't "I want to be the best." Edward's was, well, I want to try to fix the mistake that I made. With Kenshin, it was just, I was a samurai who killed many people during war. I don't want to kill anymore. I want to now just be a protector. With Yusuke, it was, honestly, he didn't even have a purpose, which was kind of refreshing. It was kind of just, he didn't really need a goal. He was basically just discovering who he really was. And I'm not trying to say that the mangaka for Black Clover, is bad because he doesn't do it the way I'd want to see it. It's just, how many characters are going to have this whole "I want to be some kind of a king" or the best, look at Deku. Look at Deku. Deku's whole thing is want to be the best hero.
Yeah, but there's a difference though, because a lot of people were complaining when Black Clover first started, like, oh, it's basically like Naruto, One Piece, and whatever all mixed into one. But like Deku is like, I don't know, people don't like Deku, but like, I don't know, I feel like he actually has some depth to him, and I like him because he's not like the typical like dumb main character. He actually thinks when he fights. You actually hear his thoughts, and I love that. Like, I love it when you can hear the main character's thoughts and you know what he's thinking.
I just can't get past his character design. I'm sorry, it's just off-putting for me. And that's not saying
his hero outfit or like
his eyes, the shape of his body and all that. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying the art's bad. It's just it's not for me. Now,
hey, I get it. Like when you talk about your age and everything, like, dude, I came from the reboot Moyu days, and so trust me, I understand the old well stuff is it had like more to the character,
It's more
but
mature.
but it still is good
Right.
per se. Like like manga like out there. It's just you
Yeah.
just have to try
I'm just
something out.
I'm just at a point in my life where I kind of don't want to read shonen anymore, with the exception of the ones that I've already been a fan of, and the ones that do come from, the era that I grew up around or grew up in. Um, Like the only real reason why I'm continuing One Piece is because the investment I already had in it, the time I've already put into it.
Of course.
I'm going to see this until it's over with, and also because while Luffy and his crew on the surface might seem like just of shonen main characters, having read and watched it for so long, there's a lot of emotional depth in the series of One Piece that you don't really get in. Well, you kind of got it in Naruto, but in One Piece, it just felt like it hit you harder. Like with the whole Arlong thing and Nami, right? That whole thing was just very emotional. With Robin and the whole CP9 thing, very emotional and hard hitting. Maybe I would say that's because I feel like Kishimoto was a little too try hard with some of his emotional moments. Like he relied, and this is the anime I'm talking about. Maybe the anime relied too much on sad sounding music instead of allowing the viewer to decide how they feel based on what the characters are saying and how it's how it's being presented. But yeah, there's a lot of hard hitting. The whole Sanji flashback. And let's not even forget about Law. Like, those are some really deep moments that, even though I've been criticizing Oda recently, those are the reasons why I maintain the belief that he's definitely one of the best shonen writers of all time.
He's just been slipping lately.
As much as I love Togashi, I just couldn't get into Hunter x Hunter like I could Yu Yu Hakusho. I love Yu Yu Hakusho, but Hunter x Hunter to me.
I like Yu Yu Hakusho, but like the ending, I have mixed feelings about.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I still have to read that too, Hunter x Hunter.
But with Hunter x Hunter, like when I was starting to get into it, or when I was starting to try to get into it, I mean no disrespect when I say this, but I honestly felt like it was Togashi trying to make his own version of One Piece at first, because Gon to me kind of seemed like a ripoff of Luffy in some respects. Like, and I'm sure I've disrespected a lot of Hunter x Hunter, fans at this point, but I don't know. Hunter x Hunter is just. I think it's because I appreciated the simplicity of Yu Yu Hakusho, because there wasn't really any world building in that, so you were able to focus on the main characters and flesh them out without having to worry about making this expansive universe. Whereas in Hunter x Hunter, it's so much more focused on the overarching on the world itself that I feel it kind of takes away from potential development that could be given to the main characters instead. Like, you could kind of make that argument for One Piece, I guess, but you know, I mean,
about
I still feel like I don't know. I guess I'm at the point now where even whereas I used to be a big fan of One Piece, I'm now just a fan. And that doesn't mean that I won't potentially ever become a big fan again. It's just at this current point in time, based on what I'm seeing right now, I have a hard time seeing Oda potentially look at what he's kind of failed to do with Wano and not make the same mistakes in the later arcs. He could do that, but I mean, he's
well, at least it ain't like a Pokemon or anything, just continuing just to continue,
Yeah, if there's a part 2 for One Piece, like if there's a Boruto, if you will, like a Boruto series for One Piece, I am not watching that or reading that. It's done when it's done.
I hope not. And I tried Boruto, and I'm like, yeah, I'm outside.
I just never liked the idea of Naruto having a kid because it just felt so forced for him to have a relationship with a woman. I understand they made a movie to make it feel believable for him and Hinata, but I'm sorry, there's nothing you can really do to convince me that him and Hinata made sense, even if you wrote it in to be that way. Like, I'm sorry.
Him being a dad, I feel like made sense though, because of when you think about how he'd never had one.
Yeah, but his voice is he doesn't even get like a masculine voice when he gets older. To kind of really show you that he is an adult now. He basically just looks like a taller Naruto. He doesn't look aged. He doesn't look.
I don't like the only thing I don't really like is his hair. It looks it looks weird.
I think
the shorter hairstyle.
Like when I first looked at him, I said, "Has Kishimoto been obsessed with Eminem lately? Because it looks like he's made Naruto into Eminem."
I mean, I don't know. I feel like the more forced relationship is Sakura and Sasuke. Because
I agree.
I know Sakura has been trying to kill her.
Yeah. It should have been. I'm sorry.
But then you off screen the whole.
Yeah.
Their whole marriage and kid and.
At least with Naruto and Hinata, even if it seemed kind of forced, at least Naruto didn't try and kill Hinata at one point. Literally, this dude was about to kill Sakura if it wasn't for Kakashi covered his
I mean, yeah. To be completely honest with you, and this is coming from a Sasuke fan, yes, I know. How dare I like Sasuke, but I do.
I mean, nothing wrong with that. I like Sasuke too, but it's just the relationship between him and Sakura makes no sense.
I've always preferred him to Naruto, and I always will. But
and you know what's worse though? Him and Sakura don't really have that much interaction.
No, they don't.
When you think about it, it's really just Naruto and Sasuke thing. Naruto has more interaction with Sakura. I mean, obviously because he didn't leave the village, but even when all three of them were together, it was really just Naruto was interacting with both of them, and Sasuke was only really interacting with Naruto. I don't know.
I still stand by my belief that Sakura and Naruto should have been an item, and I'll always stand by that as who I think he should have been with.
Sakura?
Yeah, I'll always say that.
Nah.
I will always say that. Always say that.
Nah, she doesn't deserve Naruto.
She may not deserve him, but then again, I mean,
See, to me, Sai, he got the hottest one though.
who did he end up with again?
Ino.
Ooh,
she's trash though.
I never liked Ino. I mean, I don't really care for soccer either, but
yeah, like she may be trash, but she had the look though.
Can we all agree that Kishimoto is terrible at writing female characters for the most part? Like, with the exception of Hinata, who I will say Hinata is definitely
Tsunade.
Tsunade's terrible.
Yeah, but she was strong though.
Tsunade's
I don't know. Like,
Tsunade's garbage.
I don't know about her being strong because, like, yo, you know what was wild though? Like, okay, I know Madara is strong, but all the 5 Kages got low diff by Madara. That's so sad. Like,
and you know what's hilarious?
It's like,
you know what's hilarious?
Leaders? Like, yikes.
You know what's hilarious about that though? Wasn't that a line said by Kakashi regarding how future generations surpass the last? Okay, so how much of a future generation is Tsunade from her grandfather's generation? By that logic, she should at least be on par with Hashirama. By that logic,
it's so they're so weak. It's like the dead Kage are way stronger. Like even the third Hokage is like way strong. Like what is wrong with these new Kages? They're all so weak. Like
and Tsunade.
I think Madara is strong, so maybe 1-on-1 like they won't be able to, but like 5 of them and they still can beat him. Yikes!
What's really sad is that Tsunade's the least impressive of the bunch, and she's the granddaughter of Hashirama. She's the granddaughter.
Like I don't mind her just being pure strength, but like yikes! Like I feel like he could have made her like stronger at least. Like
but they wanted to focus on the children of prophecy anyway. So I mean,
oh god!
And what's even crazy is that like Naruto has to get like 2 power-ups to get
because what's really frustrating.
He mastered at least one of them makes sense. He mastered. Oh, I'm about to end the stream because Raga's about to start his Berserk stream, but at least one of them is believable. Where like he mastered the QB, but then like when him and Sasuke basically became gods, like that's a different story.
Yeah, here's the other thing too. You notice how
6-path mode.
You notice how with Hashirama and Tobirama, they were strong in base mode basically, and what I mean by that is this: Hashirama was incredibly powerful without using Sage Mode. Naruto, however, when he's not using Sage Mode or Ninetales Mode, he seems pretty weak. Like it baffles me how, all these other characters like Hashirama are just naturally powerful. And then Naruto, the son of Minato, has to literally rely on Sage Mode and the QB chakra just to stand on that level. Like, I mean, say what you will about Luffy.
And then Boruto, like he seems even weaker as Hokage. Like it's like what the?
Wait, he's Hokage? Boruto?
Yeah.
He becomes Hokage?
Yeah.
Really?
Mhm. He becomes Hokage after Kakashi takes it.
Wait, Boruto or Naruto?
No,
no. You mean Naruto?
Like after.
Oh, I thought you were saying Boruto becomes Hokage.
No. Naruto, I'm talking about.
Boruto becomes Hokage before he's born.
Yeah, he seems weaker in in like Boruto, because like he's like having trouble with like regular ninja.
Yeah,
I thought they're
and
just trying to nerf him for it to make sense.
I'm sorry, but if you were going to do an older Naruto, why didn't you just do it as a movie? Like, and yes, I know they've done movies like Naruto the Last, but what I'm talking about is do like a 40-year-old Naruto, right? 40-year-old Naruto, you know, he looks his age, sounds his age, you know, doesn't sound like he's still going through puberty. And he, you know, maybe he's shown to be as strong as the first Hokage to kind of bring it full circle and say, you know, he's kind of like reached the potential that he, you know, should reach, I guess. And then just give him like a really epic moment where maybe he's taking on like an entire army on his own or something like that. Because
I would like the way he lives his life in a sense where, like, if you're not strong enough, then it's your fault. And if, you know, I come across your path and you die, it's on you. Like, he's not taking responsibility for anybody else's action. Well, the thing with that mindset is that during the Black Souls arc, you got
or maybe Sadara and Shoji's son.
Her wearing glasses really throws me off. Why do you need glasses? Like, come on. Are we going with
that?
Are we going with that whole Poindexter, I'm smart, I wear glasses stereotype here?
Because
I'm
Sakura's smart.
I'm sick of it. All right? Both your parents don't have bad eyesight. They both don't wear glasses. You shouldn't need them either. Like, come on.
Yeah. Sorry to cut you guys off, but I'm about to end it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I do plan to do another stream on Thursday, though, so I'll let you guys know about that. But thanks for joining.
Yep.
Thanks, Karakuri, Loner.
Yep.
Anytime.
All right.
Yep, no problem.
Have a good night, guys.
You too.
All right, cool.